Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of MAGA Headline News. My name is Mike, and guys, today, what is going on in America? This is stuff that we expected. I've been saying it for the last couple months. I've been calling it the Summer of Love Part 2. If you remember the summer of 2020, and now things are starting to heat up in a different way. But what are they doing? What is the deep state up to? Okay. Look, their plan is becoming clear. All right. We're getting these terrorist attacks coming in. All right. It's all coming from this free Palestine stuff. All right. But what it looks like to me is this is part of a bigger picture. All right. It looks like we're going to start seeing terrorist attacks on American soil, one after the other, as the summer heats up. And it looks like this is what they plan to do to destabilize us as a country. Okay. Um, we're seeing the free Palestine stuff. We're seeing the gang stuff, the MS-13, the Tren de Agua stuff. All right. And it looks like what the bigger picture is something that goes along the lines of what Obama used to say. And when you go do searches for this stuff, you can't find any of this stuff on Google. It's all filtered. All right. But I remember back, one of the first things that started really opening my eyes when Obama was president back in the day was when he was making comments, saying how America should basically know what it feels like to live in these other countries, or they never suffer. They don't know, what it's like. They have it comfy. They're hypocrites, whatever. He was basically against us from the start. All right. And we know that. We know where he came from. We know all of it. All right. But if you look at what's going on today, they've brought the entire world's problems here. Okay. So they opened the floodgates. We got 20 million illegals here. Okay. And how many Americans are dead now? And now we're starting to see terrorist attacks all over the country. Mainstream media is denying it. Okay. So we can't even get the momentum going to start fighting this stuff as a country the way we were basically unified after 9/11. After 9/11, the whole country was unified because the media was covering it. But now you have the mainstream media out there looking for any reason to say this is not a terrorist attack, this is not this is not that. But meanwhile, what do we see all over the country? These free Palestine radicals. All right. This group of people, whatever they were, Jewish or if they're not Jewish, it doesn't matter. We're in America here. Okay. These people were freely gathered to commemorate, their heritage, tragedy from the past, whatever. This guy started throwing Molotov cocktails and flamethrowers at these people. One guy was a Holocaust survivor. Not so, the guy literally went through all that back in the Holocaust only to end up here in America to be burned by a flamethrower from some idiot, how many years later. And that's just one story from it. Okay. What we're seeing on a mass scale, it looks like the deep state knew what they don't even have to activate anybody. A lot of people say, oh, I used to think so too. Like, oh, they're going to activate this one. They're going to activate that one, the way they brought them into the country. And that might be true for some people, but they don't even need to. All they had to do was import 20 million people with half of them with extreme views on one subject or the next. And now they're going to fight it out in America and they're going to take it out on us. The next person that could get killed is you or somebody in your family. The people that are sticking up for this or trying to play this down. I mean, you're no exclusion from their violence. Even if you think you're on their side, they don't care. Look what happened to just like the Tesla drivers. Like there was a lot of people that are anti-Trump, anti-whatever, anti-Republican. These were people, you know, liberal Tesla drivers. They woke up one morning because of an event that happened and became enemies of their own people. All right. So it looks like what we're going to start seeing is these people that were brought in who are radicalized, and they're going to take their aggression out and fight their war here on American soil. And that's what it seems like it's going to be. And it's going to heat up as the summer goes on. And we need to start thinking about, what do we support? What do we want? Are we just sitting ducks at this point? Are we just sitting ducks? Because if this can't be taken care of properly by normal law, but you know, our law enforcement, they've never in our country's history really had to deal with anything like this. Okay. We have a mainstream media who is basically not protecting the American citizens with information one bit. Okay. We're just being told we're the bad people. You know, anybody with any American views, we're just the bad people. I mean, if we're, you know, the Free Palestine stuff, silence is violence. Is that it? So even if we're quiet and we don't want to say anything, we deserve to get killed for not taking your side. This stuff should not be here in America, and I believe it's time to clean it out. You know, at some point we have to stand up for ourselves as a people, a peaceful people. Okay, you know, this is not how we live our life here in America, where we want people being burned by flamethrowers, bombs going off. I mean, look, I'm gonna look at this. Is what happened in Boulder yesterday, or whatever. Okay, this is the Boulder attack at this point. I pulled just a search up on X. All right. And I'm just gonna dig a little bit with you guys. All right. I don't have too much stuff, you know, I don't lay this stuff out like a lot of other people do. You just kind of get me. I give you my thoughts. All right. And we could go through this together. All right. It's important for everybody to kind of learn how to dig into this stuff and understand what's happening to us, because I'm starting to see us as just basically sitting ducks at this point for whatever extremist that was brought into this country when the borders were opened. Whenever they feel like acting out, all of a sudden Americans got to die. Whenever an illegal immigrant wants to rape somebody, or whenever an illegal wants to commit a crime or plow through people on the street. I mean, it's unbelievable. We're just basically sitting ducks. Okay. So, here was the Boulder attack. Here's, I just pretty much searched it. We're just going to hang out for a minute and just check out what's going on with it. All right.
Releasing the charges for the man accused of setting 8 people on fire in that targeted terror attack in Boulder, Colorado. Officials say he's now being charged with a hate crime that's federally. And this is what they found. They found at least 14 unlit Molotov cocktails on his person, along with that makeshift flamethrower. The Molotovs comprised of glass wine carafe bottles or ball jars containing clear liquid, and red rags hanging out of the bottles. He made these himself. In fact, it says that he researched on YouTube how to do this. And later, during an interview with the officials, the suspect stated outright, and he's talking, he stated he wanted to, quote, kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. He also stated that he would do it again. Emily, he also said during this interview he specifically targeted the Zionist group that had gathered in Boulder. He knew they...
So here you go. I mean, this guy was, maximum kill. Another thing, he tried to purchase firearms. Okay. And thank God he didn't get his hands on a weapon. He shouldn't even been here in the first place. He, again, brought in by the left, defended by the left. I mean, these are the type of people that, Trump is trying to take these people out of here for our safety. And you have these Democrat Congress people and senators going to the country, trying to bring them back. I mean, at what point are these Democrat politicians accomplices? And that's what we really have to start thinking about here, because it's only so much that we could sit here and hope that it gets exposed and hope people wake up. I mean, you know, you got to think to yourself, chances are by next week, there's going to be more Americans dead that are alive today and will not be alive tomorrow, within a week, within days, because these attacks keep happening. I mean, what is this here? This is the aftermath.
Just stay away. Just stay away.
This looks like the aftermath, okay?
Right there.
Okay, you know, YouTube's going to hit me just for that video. All right, there our American flag sitting on the ground in our own country with our citizens burned with flamethrowers. This is just unbelievable to see this happening. And it's obvious that this is just the start, okay? These Free Palestine people are not going to stop. And you know, the thing is, we sit back and do nothing, okay? And we're trying to keep the peace. We're trying to let the law play out, all right? You know, we have so many more numbers than them. We are so much more powerful than them. And these people don't even care, all right? And if we were ever to come out of our houses the way they do, they would be crying, you know, on how victimized they are. But we sit back, we let law enforcement take care of it. We act like rational citizens. But at what point are the Democrat accomplices, the Democrat politicians accomplices of this? Okay. This was just a horrible event. And, you know, here's another thing. Let me show you something. This didn't get too much publicity. All right. You got Michigan Muslim pleads guilty in plot to open fire and kill Jewish preschoolers at a synagogue. I mean, what in the world is happening here? Okay. This is all new to America in the past decades. Look at the people that we have brought here and the people that the left is defending. This stuff doesn't even get on the news. All right. Here's again the governor of Pennsylvania, the governor's mansion being firebombed, the governor's mansion in America being firebombed. It's becoming normal. This is the conditioning of this stuff is becoming normal to Americans. All right. Corey Bomber. This is real nice. Okay. I'm just absolutely, you know, I knew this was coming this summer, guys, and it really looks to be that this was the plan here. Destabilize the whole country, bring them all in, bring everybody with some extreme ideologies in, and let them play it out on American soil. The same way Obama used to say that Americans should have to experience what the rest of the world does. But, you know, we shouldn't have to, because we built a free, peaceful society. Okay. I think that we should become more of an isolationist state. Okay. I think we should just pull back if we have to and only do things out in the world that benefit our national security. All right. Enough of this getting involved with so many of these problems. Okay. If we have these universities, I mean, look at Harvard at this point. All right. It's basically been turned into a terrorist training camp. I mean, that's what it is. And the people that are in charge of it are so clearly involved. They're bringing in people that don't know how to do math and sending them to Harvard. As long as they got an extremist view, they'll teach them 2 + 2. All right. All of our tax money is being spent to build what I call a country within a country with our money, and we don't fit in here. We don't fit in. And we have a mainstream media who continues to tell us that this stuff is not happening. Don't even believe your own eyes and ears. Okay. This is what to expect this summer is more and more terrorism from the left. Okay. More and more terrorism, more and more Americans dead. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. If this continues anymore, it is time for Trump to enact the Insurrection Act. Okay. This whole thing is clearly something new that we haven't dealt with. It is so intricate. It's such a web. But when you have so many things happening to us, okay, and you have so many Democrat politicians standing up for it, and you have the mainstream media trying to convince us not to believe our eyes and ears, while we are sitting here, sitting ducks, being attacked, being told that we're the bad people, that we're victimizing the world. We're not doing any of that. We're just living, okay? This is like one big psych op on American people. And look at who the victims are. It's us. Who has lost their manufacturing? Who has lost their jobs? 90,000 factories. Who has lost our borders? Thank God President Trump got them back. We've lost the ideology of our nuclear family through the left's influence. It's to the point where racism is rampant, but not rampant for one side anymore, but it's rampant against white Americans at this point, and has become okay to just say anything you want or trash a white American or anything. I mean, and look, almost all of us don't hate anybody. Of course, you're always going to have, bad people out there of every kind. But when somebody that doesn't really have an ounce of hate in their heart for another race or religion, and then every day you're told that you're a racist, you're a white supremacist, you're this, you're that, you're getting attacked out of nowhere. How do you think that feels to some people? And does it put people on defensive, or at what point does the circle complete where, the people that are now getting attacked and bashed and, out of nowhere for how they were born, when do they start sticking up for themselves? And you know what this is? This is all created by the left. It's not created by the people. We live just fine with each other until those news reports start, until those articles are printed about how many people are racist, how many of this or that. Go out into America. You will see every single person getting along everywhere, except for the people that are influenced heavily by the left. That's where the hate is coming from. You don't see everyday Americans blocking off highways, burning things down, doing any of that stuff. You see us being lied about. Okay, at this point, this isn't Republican and Democrat. This isn't have anything to do with that. This isn't right for. This is literally America standing up for itself. America being attacked. All right, and President Trump, I think it's time for the Insurrection Act, and I'll say it, and I'll say it again. It's to the point where we have absolute clowns, people dressed up. They look like clowns. What has this psych op done to these people from the left? They're dressed up as absolute clowns with blue hair, wigs, God knows what else, and telling us how bad we are. I think I'm about done with it. I've had it. Here's another guy. This was the Jewish preschoolers that I was talking about earlier. Another article on that. Then you had the staffers that were shot recently. All right. For no reason. I mean, these people were killed. The people were killed for who they were. How do you know they had anything to do with what's going on over there? I mean, this is all politics. You're going to start killing innocent people. We have assassination attempts on our president. What is going on here? All right. It's time. Okay. This is a full plot against America. If you can't see it, you're just as dumb as the Democrat voters, if you ask me. I think it's time, to the exposure phase is over. It's time to start going on the offense for real, because we really need something done about this at this point, because every week that goes by, we're losing more and more people. All right, guys, listen, I think that's what I wanted to share here today. That was kind of my point, was to let you guys know what I think is coming for the rest of this summer. Okay. And I think that we are going to be dealing with more and more terrorism. And I think most of it is going to come from this Free Palestine stuff. And I think you're going to see a couple here and there's that have to do with the gangs, that have to do with people that were just mentally insane coming out of other countries, and just straight up criminal acts, selfish criminal acts that have nothing to do with politics from the criminals that were brought here. It's going to heat up, and I don't think it's going to stop until America is forced to take action. And let's hope that President Trump does take that action sooner or later, because I think the time is now. All right, guys, listen, my name is Mike. This has been MAGA Headline News. Sorry to sound so down, but this stuff really does get me down. Our country's under attack. This is real. It's at your doorstep at this point. Okay. So it's time to talk to the kids, tell them what's going on. They need to be aware of their surroundings too, to be able to get to safety if something happens, because unfortunately this stuff is really happening. Okay. That's about all I got for you guys today. Try to stay safe. Let's hope that everybody can still enjoy the summer. And guys, let's keep up our support for President Trump. He is doing all of the heavy lifting for us. He needs us. He needs our support. We can't just go attacking our people that we sent to do a job for us every time we hear something we don't like. Okay. We need to, think about it. What do they have a plan? Do they have a strategy? These are people we believed in. Let's, it's only been a few months. Let's give them some time to work. All right, guys, my name is Mike. This has been MAGA Headline News. Stay tuned for another episode, probably coming tonight or tomorrow. Have a nice night, guys.